What's up guys, I'm Phoenix Master 1 and welcome back to my unit review series for Fire Emblem Heroes, and today I'm going to be taking a look at New Year's Laegjarn, and these are the topics I'm going to be talking about in this video, so let us begin.
Celebrate and share joy!
Laegjarn is a Lance Cavalier this time around, and she has got pretty good stat line. It's definitely balanced, and she has got the second highest defense for any Lance Cavalier after Silas, and pretty solid speed at base 35. She also has base 32 attack, which is not really all that high, but it's workable, but it's definitely one of the things which she is lacking. She also has really bad resistance, which makes her susceptible to any sort of mages, even red mages and dragons of course, which are rampant in this metagame. She comes with Wagasa Plus, which is a lance with chill defense built into it, and this is fantastic for supporting your teammates. This also helps her a lot because she doesn't really have the highest attack, as I said before. Her slot B skill is Chill Resistance. This is once again to help your teammates. It doesn't really help Laegjarn at all, but it's just to support your teammates. Double Chill on both defensive stats are definitely amazing on a support unit. For slot C, she has got Defense Tactic, once again a supportive skill. I really wish she had Attack Tactic over this because it would have more synergy with Chill Defense and the Chill Resistance that she has got on her base kit. Her assist skill is Pivot, which is not really all that good of a skill. Definitely cannot be used offensively or defensively. Something like Reposition is definitely much better. Now overall, she's just a support unit with her base kit, but with her stat line, she has got a lot of builds. She's definitely a very versatile unit, and you can definitely compare her to some of the other Lance Cavaliers. Lance Cavalry is a pretty saturated class, and we have a lot of free-to-play Lance Cavaliers, but Laegjarn is definitely one of the better ones, and she definitely faces some competition with someone like Summer Cordelia for the offensive roles because Summer Cordelia just has better speed, but once again, she's a seasonal unit, and if you compare her to free-to-play units, then Finn also gives a competition if you're thinking of Grail investment on her, because after the merge update, Finn can actually have a pretty decent stat line. And for offensive roles, Oscar is present in 3-star and 4-star summoning pool if you're wanting to make some kind of Slaying Lance, Gale Force Cavalier, or some Fire Sweep Cavalier. And because of being in this saturated class type, she definitely is not really all that hyped up compared to more unique rewards that we have got in past few months, like Winter Cecilia and Young Azura. So even though she's just another Lance Cavalier, she's definitely one of the better ones that we have got. Now before I move on to my next section, I really want to go over this. Now as you guys might know, the merge update is going to be coming out next month, and this will basically neutralize the banes of merge units. But in the case of neutral IV units, they will get 3 total extra stat points to their highest base stats. And for Laegjarn, she's going to be getting 1 point in defense, 1 point in HP, and 1 point in speed upon the +1 merge. And she will end up at 32-37 offensive spread, which is absolutely fantastic for a lot of the offensive builds. So merging Laegjarn for this stat line is definitely something you should keep in mind before you fodder her off, because if you do not have a lot of good Lance Cavaliers, then she can definitely be a unit that you can invest into. Now let's move on to the section if you want to fodder her off. She comes with Defense Tactic at 4-star rarity. Now it is present on only 5-star exclusive units, but we already have Defense Tactic as a Sacred Seal, so you could just run that as a Sacred Seal and have something else on your slot C like Attack Tactic or even Res Tactic from Laura Shell. So Defense Tactic is definitely not the skill you want to fodder her off for. Her lance is the most unique thing which you could fodder her off for, and here are some good recipients of that. This weapon is fantastic on your cheerleaders because -7 defense is going to be helpful to a lot of your bonus units. In general, if you just run Asuka Trio, then it's beneficial to all of them. The -7 defense debuff is going to be really nice for getting a lot of the bonus kills, and you can have someone like Gwendolyn use this and have her more ploy skills on her, making use of that resistance. You can even give this to someone like Cordelia, I guess, who cannot really make use of ploys, but you can have double chill skills to provide that support and also have something like guidance. Blue Dual Flying is out, and if you've got someone like Cordelia at +10 and you really want to use her as a cheerleader, this can be done. And of course, this is really good on dancers. Azura can definitely make good use of this and have that -7 debuff. She can already provide the Wings of Mercy support and the Sync support to your team. So really good support weapon. And you can also fodder her off for Chill Resistance. And Chill Resistance is only available on Ophelia and Spring Catria, so it's definitely a very rare skill. You can definitely give this to someone like Reinhardt, who has got Dire Thunder to nuke, and Chill Resistance debuff can help him with that, but you don't necessarily need to run this on him. You can actually run Lancebreaker on him and have Chill Resistance on some other support unit, but nonetheless, it's still an option for him. You can also run this on Blade Tome Flyers who have got not very high speed, and you can just have this on her slot B to improve her damage output. And it can also be given to someone like Sanaki who can hit really hard. And Micaiah can hit really hard with a Thani Tome and also this debuff. It can be really useful in ether raids where you've got armor units as your enemies trying to stall you out, and in that case chill resistance can definitely be really helpful. Soren can also make use of this because he already has chill attack in his weapon, so once again you can just have double chill skills. And finally, someone like Camilla who has got a weapon like Juicy Wave which already has Desperation built into it. You can just have this on her slot B because it's quite free, and you can also use this to support your teammates.
In new stead, strike.
The first build is a budget build. It's the best budget option that she has got because of her stat line, and you can also give her Rest Tactic Sacred Seal to give that double tactic buff and also have double chill debuff. And Moonbow and Bonfire are both pretty good special options for her. Bonfire is for more damage and Moonbow is to trigger that in a single round. Her second build has got Desperation and Brazen Seal. Both of these have got pretty good synergy with Fury, and Brazen Seal does give her more attack, which is definitely beneficial to her. Her third build is a defensive build with steady stance from Silas, and you can also use Attack Defense Bond Sacred Seal to make her reach 46 defense in the enemy phase, and Attack Smoke can help reduce damage, and Bonfire can give you good damage output. You can also run Defense Refine if you want to increase her bulk, or Close Defense Sacred Seal, but she would definitely appreciate the attack from Attack Defense Bond. Her fourth build uses Slaying Lance and Gale Force. Now she's one of the best budget Lance Cavaliers for this kind of build because of her speed, and this build is really nice for ether raids, for taking out frail units in first few turns and just getting a head start. And you can also run Escape Route in place of Desperation if you're going to be using her for ether raids. You definitely want to give her some kind of attack support like Hone Cavalry support so that she can reliably proc her Heavy Blade. And Life and Death kind of runs her bulk, but it can actually be still decent even with it, and it can definitely help her get into the Desperation range reliably. Her fifth build is a Fire Sweep build, and it's fantastic because of her speed once again, and she can run Life and Death, Drag Back, and pretty much have Attack Speed Seal, and she can be a really good poking unit. You can also run Heavy Blade and Moonbow or Gale Force. It's really up to you, and the +1 merge actually gives her 2 more points of speed, which is definitely going to be nice in February. The only problem is that Oscar can also run the same build, and he can run it slightly better because of having access to IVs. If you're just going to be comparing him to an unmerged Laegjarn. Her sixth build uses Harmonic Lance once again because of her speed, and she could definitely use some extra damage output, and it's pretty much my second build but with a different weapon and Moonbow. And you can actually run Heavy Blade with Moonbow if you want to, but Brazen Attack Res can definitely give her extra attack, which is going to be useful for the raw damage output. Her seventh and the final build is pretty much the defensive build with Slaying Lance and Bonfire. So Bonfire becomes a 2-turn cooldown special which you can trigger in a single round thanks to Slaying Lance, and you can definitely go with this kind of defensive build because there isn't really any other Lance Cavalier in the game who has got as much speed as Laegjarn while being this defensive, so it's definitely a great option for her if you do not want to build her offensively.
A good year, I trust.
Wind Blessing is by far the best blessing for Laegjarn because of the existence of Reed and Gunthra. Both of these units have got preferred weapons which depend on debuffs, and Laegjarn's base kit is just giving them debuffs, which is definitely going to be nice. Even if you remove chill resistance from Laegjarn's base kit and just have her default lance, she can still provide really good support to them, and because these are horse units, they can just give Laegjarn the horse emblem buff and also receive that themselves. And Reed's defense bonus is going to be nice for Laegjarn's defensive builds, and Gunthra's resistance boost can help patch up her low resistance. Lucina's speed is going to be helpful to offensive builds of Laegjarn, but the thing is that both of them are blue units, so it's going to be really bad to share that color weakness. And finally, Legendary Lyn can provide the attack boost with her legendary effect and speed tactic buff, which is definitely amazing for any of the offensive builds which Laegjarn can run. And if you're running her default lance, then the chill defense debuff can definitely help Lyn offensively, and Laegjarn can definitely check some red units for Legendary Lyn.
To a new future.
As I said before, Reed and Gunthra are fantastic teammates with Laegjarn if she just runs her default lance, and nukes like Shershi, Reinhardt, and Sanaki can definitely make use of the -7 defense or the -7 chill resistance debuff that she can have. And magic checks are definitely needed with Laegjarn because she's got really low resistance, so someone like Felicia or Flora or even Faye are going to be pretty nice, and she is not going to be scratching any of the tanky green units, so you definitely need some kind of green check like Lilina Adeltiki or even the free-to-play legendary Ike. Countering Laegjarn isn't really all that tough. We have got so many green threats in the metagame, they can easily check her, and also magical threats in general that you're going to be facing in something like Ether Raids. And then we have got this guy. You probably know his name by now because of the amount of mental anguish he's given to you. And now let's take a look at some of the reasons why you may or may not want to invest into Laegjarn with your Heroic Grails. So Laegjarn has got pretty good balanced stat line, and the merges definitely help a lot with that. And as you saw, she's definitely very versatile with her builds, can go both offensive, defensive, or just supportive. And because of the merge update, she's going to be getting +1 to her speed, defense, and HP, which makes her stat line even better. And she can be a good Gale Force Cavalier in either raids, but there are definitely some reasons that you may not want to invest into her. If you're focused with scoring in Arena, then this is definitely not it. And she also faces competition from Finn for the Grail investment. As I said, Finn is going to be pretty nice with that merge update and can definitely be a nice Lance Cavalier. And he actually has more attack than Laegjarn at the cost of having lower defense and speed. And Camus, I guess. But he seems like the middle ground of Finn and Laegjarn in my opinion. Gradavis can be nice, but still, stat-wise, Finn and Laegjarn definitely have it slightly better in my opinion. And because Lance Cavalry is such a saturated class, there are definitely many other units that you can plus and merge even from the 3-star and 4-star pools. For example, Oscar in the role of Gale Force Offensive Lance Cavalier. And you could definitely spend your Heroic Grails on a more unique unit like Young Azura, Versa, or Black Knight, who do have things to score better in Arena. And that's why I don't really see a lot of people investing into Laegjarn with their Heroic Grails in future, and maybe just go with that +1 merge to get the extra stats and maybe just call it a day. So that is going to be it for this review. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you did, then please be sure to leave a like and share this video with a friend who's trying to build up Laegjarn. And if you haven't already, then make sure to subscribe for more Fire Emblem Heroes content. And with that being said, I'll see you guys next time. Thank you so much for watching and have a great day.